in local bodies. Now, all the countries that have reached 40 or 50% have done it. 2/3 of those countries have a women reservation bill. Now, this is a very long-standing argument the world over, including in India, is that do you need a law to teach you to do the right thing, to teach you for equality, or should civilized countries and civilized people just normally progress towards that without a stick, without beating you on the stick with it? But again, sadly, we found that only countries that have brought in legislation and said that we need to legislate, we need to have 50% representation in parliament, are the countries that have done it. Otherwise, you have a party like mine. There are only two political parties in India, the Trinamool Congress and the Biju Janata Dal, that without the women's reservation bill have already got more than 33% in parliament in women. We have, I think, 35%, and the Biju Janata Dal has also 35-36% women. But otherwise, when you look at the other parties, in fact, even ones with a brute majority, when it comes to women representation in parliament, they're exceedingly low. So yes, unfortunately, like sometimes you need a law to tell a man not to beat his wife, you also need a law to tell people that this is our right and we demand it, and it's high time that we got it. And this is something, the Women's Reservation Bill, as you know, has been this 20-year saga in Parliament, which has come up, has lapsed, and even parties with brute majorities in Parliament have never really brought in the Women's Reservation Bill. There have been ordinances on everything under the sun, but nobody's done an ordinance on the Women's Reservation Bill.
To convert the Rajya Sabha into a much more equal chamber of the states, the way in which the American Senate works, where every state gets the same number of representatives, and therefore they have the ability, for example, to block a constitutional amendment. Right now, the Rajya Sabha actually reflects the same imbalance as the Lok Sabha. So if UP has the largest number of seats in the Lok Sabha, which it does, it also has the largest number of seats in the Rajya Sabha. Maybe one possibility would be to change that to ensure that, number one, all states have an equal representation in the Rajya Sabha, and number two, the Rajya Sabha's concurrence is required for any far-reaching decision, including any constitutional amendment, and that could be a way of preventing the worst happening. The second possibility, of course, it may be seen by some as more extreme, but since we're discussing federalism, we can talk about it, would be to move India more in the direction of a confederation rather than a federation. What do you think of that?
I mean, the second is not that.
Everybody who said a box. Now we'll tell you what does a square or a box really mean. What are those type of people? So I'm going to invite you to really imagine what a box type of person might be like. So a box, Vinod, which I think is your third, right? It's not your dominant. So box type of people are actually the most dependable of all the shapes. So the way boxes will function is like they like everything organized, they like everything structured, they don't like surprises, They like to plan things in advance and they like things going as per plan. They like to have a routine, follow a routine. They also are very cautious as compared to all the shapes. Very quickly, so your boxes are going to be the ones will get a job done. You tell a box, this has to be done. Box will get it done. Very loyal, very trustworthy. Then you also have them as the most, they have a need to be organized. They are also very attentive to details. Small little details. They will label everything. They will put everything in files. All organized, detail oriented. Prefer routines and procedures. Practical, very practical and realistic. Will do things with the emotions are there, but prefer to use logic. Will plan for the future. Will take risk only after evaluating, and are most structured of all the shapes. So should we ask the question again? How many people?
So how many people raised their hands as boxes? Do you want to continue being the box? Wonderful. So those, also try and think of people who you know in your life, your wife, your mother, your brother, your sister, your friends, who you think could be fitting into this shape. Because this entire session is all about making you understand yourself and making you understand others so that you are able to get along better with them and do things the way things have to be done.
So chances are that you may have a parent, a spouse, a boss, a friend, anybody who could be operating from a box. Remember, we are just doing the tip of the iceberg, but it's interesting.
Rambutan kisses. Tapao for me your rambutan kisses. When you are gone, I will take each one out and be kissed one at a time, alone by myself.
Agents. So what is required? If money is required, all our jewelry houses should be required, right? Should be there. All our silks and all our wedding ceremonies, all our rituals, everything should be in place. Because otherwise, the newspapers will not get their ads. The main ad revenue comes from many of these shops and places, establishments. So it is the requirement of the media to maintain an equilibrium in society. If there is disequilibrium, media houses are disrupted. And that equilibrium can be maintained at one level by taming gender questions. Because I think I answered the question earlier when I said that if I say I don't want to wear jewelry, where are the jewelry shops that will give ads to newspapers? If I say I want to get married in the registrar's office, how will the marriage industry thrive? So it is on your bodies, on your desires, that not only just media houses, I think an entire structure of oppression is built and made systematic.